I'm very pleased to be on stage with Rocco, who is head of Scrambler at Ducati, who's responsible for the whole project of this, the joy of living and fun on motorcycles. And then also we have Francesca and Andrea. Andrea's the lead designer, and Francesca actually has designed the motorcycles that we're going to talk about today. I'm just here to make it kind of easy and relaxed, and sort of try and be you guys and ask the kind of questions you might ask. But I'm going to hand over to Rocco, who's going to do a presentation and a discussion. And these guys are going to talk about the birth of Scrambler originally and also of the direction that they're headed in now. So I hope you guys all enjoy.
Okay, so thank you to be here with us. We will have a little chat and talk about Scrambler. Sorry for our English because we are Italian. We come from Ducati headquarters in Bologna. So I hope that our English will be good enough to understand what we are going to say. I don't know, it works, right?
It should work. Let's press buttons and see what happens.
I press button. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm Rocco, as Dutch already said. I'm on the project, on the Scrambler project since the beginning. So it's sort of my little baby because I was involved since the beginning of this project. And the relationship with Bike Shed, it lasts since that time. Does it work? Okay,
It's just perfect. A small delay.
Scrambler and Bike Shed has always been a great relationship. We have been here in 2015 when we presented the first generation Scrambler, and at that time I remember we had a very cool trip from London to Biarritz because Biarritz was the next stop for another event in that time. So we started from Bike Shed, from here, presenting some custom bikes made with some cool guys, customizers. Then we back in 2018, 2019, then something happened worldwide, COVID and so on. So we stopped a little while to have a physical appointment, but we back again this year and to present two cool concept, nice concept designed by my friends and colleague Francesca and Andrea. In the meantime, in those 10 years, a lot of things happened. And I have a little video for you showing all the crazy things that we did in terms of versions, bikes, events, experiences for all our clients. So, since that 2015, I'm really proud of now got like more than 100,000 clients worldwide on a Scrambler. So it's a really big success for us, and we are really proud of it because we started from zero, from an iconic bike of the Ducati bikes of the 60s, starting from scratch, and we build up this brand new family and so on. So really, this year happened the 10-year birthday, so it's a big celebration. And also being here is a sort of celebration of this incredible time.
Well, firstly, my comment is, I'm not sure that looks like a job. That looks like a lot of fun. And clearly you've had an incredible journey. But also you came back with a new iteration of the bike last time around, with that next generation. And I'm quite interested in sort of how that sort of came about, because the bikes are selling well, they're doing well. What was, I mean, I know there was a lot of kind of making the bike a little more robust, a lot more kind of engineering going into it, a lot more electronics.
Absolutely. I mean, we have fun in the company because we produce motorcycles. We do not produce, I don't know, red bricks. So we have fun for sure, and we are really lucky to work for Ducati. But at the same time, we work hard to improve every year, every time with the products, with bikes, events, making experience for our clients. For sure, the second generation Scrambler that we presented and launched last year, now it's really make a big step forward comparing to the first generation. It's really now a full pack motorcycle with everything you can have. It's clear a fun bike, easy to ride, with a great personality. It's kind of a little slower, the presentation, but and it has a lot of high-end components in terms of product features, in terms of technology, but at the same time it keeps the overall look design of Scrambler that everyone knows in the world, like it was in the 60s, like it was in 2015, and so it's like changing. If you compare, for example, in the automotive industry, the Porsche 911 is such an iconic car. They change every year, but at the end, it still remains the same iconic car that everyone knows. So in some way, we have our iconic Scrambler since the 1960s, and we just keeping update every time to keep it more modern and contemporary. Okay. Considering that with this next generation, we change like 70%, more or less 70% comparing to the previous one. We fully change the electronic system. The engine is updated aesthetically. So at the end, a lot of new parts change comparing to the first wave of the product range. In particular, and I show you in a bit, the bike is lighter than the previous one, 4 kilos less. That means it's easier for a younger generation because clearly having a light bike, it will be much easier to ride, mainly for beginners or for female riders, but at the same time it's much more fun in terms of dynamic, in terms of sporty riding. So this is an incredible achievement also because Ducati has always in its mind to reduce to the max in terms of weight. So it's something that we have in our core.
Weight design is our philosophy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, we try to express through all the main characteristics of the bike.
So I have a question around because Ducati is always known for sport and performance. Everything is about the highest end of, components and design and weight. But Scrambler has really created its own space. You had this kind of sense of fun, this land of joy, but you're still sitting within that world of performance. You're still seeking the lightest weight, the best electronics package for performance. Do you think now you're finding that sweet spot between the brand and the sub-brand? Because I feel like they're drifting together. Would that be fair to say?
I mean, at the end, we are into Ducati company. We are a Ducati motorbike, Scrambler, like Panigale or Multistrada or Diavel. All those are Ducati bikes. We are not separated in terms of companies. We are trying to fulfill a different approach to motorcycle, much more easier, much more essential, comparing to most exclusive and high-end product that we have in our range for sure. So the Land of Joy, Making Fun, so on. Those are all pillars of the Scrambler. We are still trying to keep a little bit separated in terms of communication, because we think that the clients that love Scrambler and are approaching to Scrambler are looking for different values, a little bit different values comparing to Ducati. But at the same time, they have the possibility to ride an incredible bike because at the end you have the most historical engine of Ducati, the air-cooled L-twin engine with a 800cc displacement, 73 horsepower, that we have since, I don't know, from the 70s.
Yes.
Probably, yeah. And we updated it aesthetically, comparing to the first generation, making more modern and contemporary. It is now equipped with a quick shift optional, and it's standard on the full throttle, and our friend knows very better. He just bought a full throttle a few months ago. And what else? Okay, in terms of electronics, and back to what you said before, Dutch, the electronic is something that the best that we can offer to our clients, because it comes directly to from our R&D area. New TFT dashboard with now the possibility to see a lot of information, also riding mode, ride-by-wire that gives the possibility to our client to fulfill and to enrich their riding experience much more better than the previous generation.
Oh, just one consideration, Rocco, about weight, reducing weight and technology. Weight, of course, is related to performance, but it affects in a positive way the easy-to-ride feeling of the bike itself. So it's easier way to achieve this kind of easy-to-ride feeling, but in the same time is the most difficult, technically speaking, result to achieve while developing a project. And then, of course, improving year by year the technology itself. We improve safety. These are true core value of our brand. So, of course, we have performance, but with Scrambler, we can use this kind of knowledge for these two parts of our brand. So that's why in this way, we try to combine these two soul of our brand.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely good to make bikes more accessible and easier to ride. Good for the younger generation to throw bikes. Maybe good for the older generation, because the 4 kilos you've removed from the bike, we've all added.
4 kilos.
So that's perfect. It keeps everything the same. But the thing that I really love is it's celebrating that iconic L-twin engine that goes back. I mean, I had the original M900 Monster.
Yeah.
Cool. And then I've had a couple of Ducati Sport Classics that have really lived and breathed wrapping around that engine. And for a while, it felt like you could do an awful lot if you had one of those L-twin engines and drop them into different frames and find different configurations. I mean, it does have so much character, and it's really nice to see that's still the heart and soul of this motorcycle. Even as you upgrade the engine, sort of electronics and the package, and you change the CC, it's got so much soul, so much character.
Yeah, at the moment, it's the only bike equipped with that engine. So, because the other bikes that we have in the range are all liquid cool, and as I always said, the best things to appreciate this engine and this motorbike is to ride it. So I invite you, here we have Ducati London with all the range. You can test it and you can go there to make an appointment and just have a quick round with a motorbike, like it happened with our new client here, because he was a Triumph customer. Then he just tested for 5 miles the bike, and he bought it. I mean, I'm really happy about learn those experience from a real customer, because it's always a matter of a lifestyle. It's always a matter of using motorbike for everyday use, and also to be a sort of extension of your personality. So we guarantee different type of version for different type of needs. So we have the Icon, that is our flagship. It is the yellow Scrambler like it was in the 60s, but we have also the full throttle, the more sporty one, the night shift, the more classic one, and we have two of those bikes also in our stand over there. And talking about self-expression, this second generation give a little boost to all our clients that want to customize in just 15 minutes their own Scrambler, because you can choose among 9 different colors, just changing the covers, so you can swap from yellow to black to red, really in a very quick and easy way. So easy that we launched, for example, last week this special limited edition kit designed by Van Orten, artist from Turin. We launched this, and after less than 1 day sold out. This represents the way how clients want to personalize their own bike. And so for this reason, we are here. That is one of the best places in terms of feeling this approach to customize the bike, to create, to have a lot of idea also for us as a company to produce new bikes, new concept. After this boring part, I leave the stage to my colleagues because you have time. Probably you already seen the 2 concepts that we presented and we unveiled for the first time worldwide here in London at Bike Shed. Andrea and Francesca can tell more about those 2 cool bikes.
Okay. Now we are going briefly to show you the thought behind the 2 concepts and somehow the process that we have used for building up these 2 new bikes. For developing a bike, a production bike, we take 3 years, but in this case we have to compress all the process in just 3 months. Of course, these bikes are not thought for the production, so these bikes are concepts. So erasing the industrialization anyway, for a normal bike we still use 2 years at least, but we had to do really quickly in just 3 months. But anyway, I hope the result has been appreciated. First of all, it's extremely important to don't start designing and sketching directly the first day, but something that we try to do for every single project in Ducati is to stop a while and think about more or less the soul, the environment that we want to build around a motorbike. That's why we start with a really deep research for inspiration, and the key point is to don't search this inspiration just inside the automotive field, but we try to look around everywhere. That's why Francesca tried to building up 2 different soul for the bikes. So Francesca, if you want to...
For the CR24i, I analyzed the...
Oh, Francesca, by the way,
it's my first time.
The first project, Ducati project, she joined us
I'm so excited.
Since how many months?
September
Yes.
23.
So, big applause to her.
Thank you, and sorry for my English. And for CR24i, I analyzed the 60s and the motorcycle of these times, and I try to research a dynamic speed form that give the dynamic shape and sorry.
No, no way.
And for RR24i, we try to remove everything.
So she came in the office. Okay, guys, we need to.
I see the trailer of Fury Road and.
No, but tell the right story behind it, because they told me the right story behind this second concept. Please.
One day I see the trailer of the new Fury Road, and one morning I start to drawing this motorcycle without plastic cover without the.
Yes, really, really rough, really essential.
Yeah.
And, so everything started from this trailer. And I remember that one day, for example, we have received the base, the scrambler that we had to disassemble and reassemble for creating the first maquette of the concept. And at a certain point, the bike was completely without fairing and everything. The tank was there on a desk.
Yeah.
So together we saw the tank just like that. So there was one of our colleagues ready to put on the bike all the parts. So we stopped him. The tank is right like this. So take it and put on the bike, and this is the bike. So this more or less.
We developed a back structure.
Yes, we thought about the possibility to put on the bike bags and some adventure useful tool, for example.
You know, also for me, it's quite surprising how those guys are producing and inventive new products, new things. I remember a few weeks ago we were in the meeting, official meeting with our CEO, with all the managers sitting there talking about future products and so on. And he was sitting in his table during the meeting, just sketching some bikes.
I think it's recorded, so.
No,
He was fully prepared for the meeting.
Okay.
no, I mean, I was close.
Cut this part, please. But anyway, proceed.
I was close to him and saying, "Okay, guys, what are you doing? I have some idea. I have to put down now those ideas to sketch."
We produce in every time.
In a very formal meeting, and they are in a little angle with their sketchboard and their pencil to produce some idea.
But anyway, we listen what our CEO says. Otherwise, he won't be here. Anyway, oh yes, somehow that's why the inspiration is important. And as you can understand, finding inspiration is not just switch on and okay, you have the inspiration. You need to feel it in a certain moment. And I don't know if it's a case, but usually really boring meeting are the best moment for sketching and finding ideas.
Yeah, the two most happy and funny moment to create something is one when you have a beer in front of you, for sure, and second one, boring meeting like the one we have in the company. I'm joking, but
and no, if you just
back.
After the inspiration is extremely important to
sorry,
really
need
put
to
down
back,
on the paper.
just one slide.
Yeah.
Okay. To put down on the paper all the shapes and lines that we have in our mind. And this phase is full of ideas, full of shapes. And sometime you can see the sketch in top left, the one, that one is the key sketch for the Caffarese, for example. So it's a really essential and simple sketch made in, Francesca, give
1 second.
But between all the sketches, at the end, Dawson was the one that every time used to catch our attention. So we decided to, okay, the Caffarese is that one, so the CR is that one.
But what I really love is these guys, when you meet them, and it's great to have them on stage here, is they build bikes the way custom bike builders build bikes. They take everything off a bike, look at the bare bones of what has to be there mechanically, and then it's all about simple form and simple lines. And we could be sitting up here with Max Hazan or Craig Rodsmith or any of the guys who are out there building some of these amazing one-off custom bikes. And it's the same tribe. It's the same people doing the same things. These guys just have to deal with homologation and CEOs and budgets. But it is the same process. And obviously you guys have the best job in the world. Because you get to do it for a big company. And having spent some time with these guys over the last 24 hours, they also take a lot of inspiration from you. I mean, the reason for bringing concept bikes to the show is to get feedback. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are very aware of what happened at EICMA when the guys brought out the pre-version before the Desert X that was based on the Scrambler, and then they got feedback and everybody said, actually, no, go build a proper adventure bike. and they navigated their way through all the various models to then create something. So it comes from you guys as well. So it's coming from Mad Max, it's coming from Keira Knightley on a 750 SS selling Chanel.
Yeah.
But their minds, they work just the same as our minds. They're looking at beauty and form and aesthetics and function. And it's fantastic to hear those stories of doodling in posh board meetings with the CEO and finding those lines. Yeah. And it's interesting looking at the green and red sketch at the top, the amount of times I've seen custom builders do exactly that, especially with the Cafe Racer, where they want the flat line and then the scoop of the bubble fairing, and it's the same. It's really nice to see it.
Absolutely, it's the same. Whatever it is, just a single custom garage, whatever in the world, or a brand or a company.
Bike designed for the production, yes. But I agree totally with you, Dutch, because many times we talk together, me and Francesca, especially going ahead on the color and trim phase, no? The last part of the process where we are there, yes, defining colors, details. We took a lot of inspiration from the customizer world, because we can see today in this show, every bike is a kind of unique piece of art. Yeah. So we really try to push really high the level of every single detail. The color and trim, Francesca, you did a quite deep research in terms of color,
yes.
Designing details. So
we drawing every details. For example, the front fairings, and we do the same study for the RR24i. For example, we drawing the back support.
Yes. So every detail is designed by hand. Yes.
Yes.
And then just to maybe closing the presentation. Of course, the next step always is to go in 3D. So we model in 3D. We did quite quickly because our goal was to see in real the bike. So after we made really quick 3D models for both bikes, we mill it, and by hand with the proper clay modeler, anyway, maquette modeler, we adjust all the volume, surfaces in order to really catch the last part. And then, as I mentioned before, the level of the finishing, the color and trim part is the final part in which Francesca did a really deep research, finding textile, special textile texture for seat.
Here we do so much graphics, and we decided to use a red line to emphasize the sinuosity and the dynamic volume. And for the RR24i, we decided to put a patch on the tank to create more grip.
Yes, kind of functional meaning also, no? On the RR24i. So since that bike has a little bit of off-road soul, no, inside. So
you can see some of those sketches also behind the two concepts in our stand. So if you have time, just be there. You can see live.
Okay, so this is more or less all what we did in these latest 3 months. So these are the results.
And then at the end we came up with a classical photo shooting. On my side, I'm really happy about those two concepts, and for me, it was the first time working with Francesca and Andrea so close. So it's also a way to build up better the relationship with marketing and design.
Yes.
So for me, it's a great pleasure to work together.
Not for us, but 3 months.
Also, because every day I was in their office brainstorming.
Every day.
Every day, yeah.
Message to Francesca.
Francesca, remember.
But you've given us what we wanted. I mean, we all wanted to see a bikini-fairing cafe racer on the traditional L-twin engine. I mean, I think everybody's been hanging around waiting to see another one of those.
What's your preferred one? between two?
Well, I'm a cafe racer kind of guy, and I've got a sport classic. So for me to see a sort of upper level fairing, a straight line, to see that coming back to a Ducati that you can just throw around when you've got people on really big, powerful sports bikes where you just pin the throttle and carry the corner speed and surprise a few people on their expensive sports bikes. So for me, that's the one. But I do a lot of off-road riding as well, and I was very fortunate enough to be on the launch of the Desert Sled.
Yeah, I remember.
And that was such a fantastic time. And again, to see another kind of proper, rugged, usable bike. And I love the look. I love the Mad Max-inspired looks. So I think maybe for me it's one of each. So to note to Ducati headquarters, one of each for me and Vicky would be great.
So you think we need to produce them?
I absolutely think you need to produce them. 100%. And I know that's why you're here. So I hope all of you guys do get over to the Ducati stand, have a look at the concept bikes. And the great thing about concepts is it is about feedback. It is about discovery. It's about seeing what happens next. And it means that all of you guys are part of the process. You're part of the design process and how a company like Ducati thinks, what they choose to do next, which is fantastic. And we're really privileged to be hosting that.
Yeah, one more thing that is not so common, having two designers here, because if you just count the motorcycle companies, biggest, 10, so you can count the designer working for a motorcycle company, maybe at the end you have just 30 designers in the world, motorcycle designers in the world. I'm talking about big.
We are like a panda,
So you are so lucky to have now in front of you two designers from a big brand. So take the occasion also to chat with them, because it's always a good occasion to have a chat and to have a brainstorming.
For us, this kind of event where we can really get in contact directly with all clients and passionate people are extremely useful for
it's important,
really,
the feedback.
yes, feedback for pushing the enthusiasm, because the risk sometimes in our job is to be, to live every day the project, inside the project, constraints, problems, and sometimes the risk is to lose a little bit the connection with the real needs of the people, the real expectation of the people, no? So these events are the perfect moment where we can take inspiration and...
The event, it's super cool. Really, really cool.
Well, glad you're enjoying it. Well, Rocco, thank you for allowing the designers out of their little design cupboard and exposing them to the world. You guys have been very brave coming on board, especially your first job ever.
Yes.
Your first design, and then having to deal with English. So don't worry about your language. Your language is on the bike. It's on the page. We can all see the work that she's put in.
Thank you. So time to enjoy. Back to our stand.
Well, thank you very much. That's absolutely fantastic. We're really enjoyed understanding some of the process. So when you guys are out there looking at the bikes, I'm sure you'll have a few opinions. Do share, but also enjoy. And I hope you all have a little more insight into the fact that motorcycle companies are just people like you who just happen to work for motorcycle companies and who think the way you think, who want to do the same things you want to do. We all just want biking to be around a lot longer and stay fun. One of the things I love about the Scrambler brand is actually to embrace fun and to say, really, that's why we ride motorcycles, to enjoy ourselves. And for a brand to really embrace that and not always be about the performance figures or the miles per gallon or all the boring stuff that people like to talk about in the press sometimes. Just to go out there and say, we're building really fun, cool motorcycles that everybody can enjoy, that are accessible, that actually do have creativity at the heart of them is really telling. So it's really enjoyable.
Thank you. And if you come in Italy, just knock the door to the Ducati company. We are more than welcome to invite you and to have a little tour in our
factory.
Nice company. So
I think you can hold them to that. Great. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.